So, good afternoon. I hope the board is visible so that we can start. So, I hope the voice is audible. So, we'll start. So, PDC, right? So, we will be completing the topics, that is the total revision class in 2 classes, right? So, first of all, today we will be, good afternoon, right? So, first, today we will be dealing with only first and second order system and the basics and some problems. That is, whatever we have done so far in GATE only, right? GATE papers only. So, it's a quick revision, right? So tomorrow only we'll be starting control system. So those who are okay with first order and second order, right? So there is no need to attend. Okay, it's like we are just starting, right? So only tomorrow we'll be starting control systems and others. Clear. So first of all, in PDC, right? So if you see the first thing is
Harisankar sir, 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's me, Priyansh. I'm making you host and I'm leaving the meeting. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem.
I'm going to make you host, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Sure. Okay, sir. Right. So the first topic we have is Laplace. Right. The first topic we have is Laplace. So in Laplace, whatever equations is there, we need to cover that first. Right. Then we have first order. Right. So first, I'm going through the basic things. Right. So what are the basic things in this? So first order, in first order itself, you have basic equations as well, and we have what? Physical systems, right? Physical systems like tank system is there, mercury thermometer is there, right? Extra questions are there. Based on that, you have question. Then in second order system, right, you have mainly underdam based questions are there, right? That is overshoot, etc., right? Decay ratio, etc. You all know, right? We have already done all the hard work, right? So just a revision, right? So then we will start with control system. Right. So once the control system is started, open loop, closed loop, etc., then the frequency response, Bode plot, right, route array stability, these kind of topics will come in the last, right? So 5, 6, 7 will be the last 4 topics, right? So today we'll try to cover these 3 things up to second order, right? So solving the problems is important here, right? So what I can suggest is once, you already completed PDC, right? So what we can do is take the Stephanopoulos whenever you revise PDC, right? That is, first go through whatever short notes you have prepared so far, right? I hope you have made the short notes and everything, right? So just check what are the things it's important up to second order. Then check that in your short notes and study again, right? So that's all. And if whenever you're getting some free time, right? Whenever you're getting some free time, just read half an hour time the Stephanopoulos, right? So the thing is, you already covered PDC, right? You know everything in PDC so far. So when you read the textbook again nowadays, right? So for half an hour or something, right? So before you sleep or something, right? So just read the Stephanopoulos book. So or what that will make you understand some extra things. That's all. Because you already know what is stability, right? So what is this equation? Everything you know already. So that will improve your knowledge. So that will help you in understanding the question better, right? So this is the meaning. So with this we will start. Okay, so first of all, just 1 minute. Right. So regarding Laplace, so we have studied Laplace in your maths and PDC as well. So, but in PDC we have just an application part, right? So first of all, Laplace of, we will start with this. Laplace of f of t is equal to, we will say f of s, right? And that is, we will say 0 to infinity e power minus st into f of t dt. So based on this, we will be starting, right? So based on this, we will be starting, and our questions are there based on Laplace, right? So just we will once go through the equations once. I hope you have made the equations, right? I hope you have written these kind of equations in your notebook. So whenever you make short notes, right? So just go through this without seeing the short notes, try to write it in a rough page, right? So if you see e power at is an important point, right? So f of t is e power at means 1 by s minus a, right? S plus a sin at cos at, f of t is equal to t, 1 by s square is important, right? So these things is very much important, right? That is these values, right? So you should, sometimes people may get confused by seeing what was e power 0, e power infinity, e power minus infinity, right? So these kind of short notes will help you understanding it, right? So that's the point. Now, 1 minute, right? So I hope you can see this. Now, in this, again, f of t is equal to t into e power minus at. These things we already know, right? So division by t, what happens, right? So multiplication by t, what happens? So go through this once again, right? And improve this, right? So try to write it by yourself, right? So you should not have any confusion with sine at, cos at, and all, right? So that's the point. So this is about our Laplace, right? This is about our Laplace, first of all. Then the second page of the short notes, if you see. So again, this, right? So that is your differentiation and integration, that also you should remember, right? So these are the four things, right? We have to go through and we need to understand, right? So the total 8 marks from PDC, right? So we can expect at least 1 mark or 2 marks from Laplace, 1 mark, right? According to our luck, so they can ask, right? Then after this, right? After this, what is the thing you have? You have initial value theorem, final value theorem, right? So that based questions are also there. That is, if you remember the equation for initial value theorem and final value theorem, limit t tends to 0, f of t, we can write it as what? Limit s tends to infinity, s into f of s. So this has application throughout our PDC syllabus, right? This has application throughout our PDC syllabus. Same way, limit t tends to infinity, f of t is equal to limit s tends to 0, s into f of s. So this is our final value theorem. So that is required for finding what? Your ultimate value of the response, right? This is required for your ultimate value of the response. So if you remember this, right, that will be good, right? So based on this, we have done a lot of questions in the gate, right? So based on this, we have more application based on this other than the simple Laplace. So these two are very much important. So based on this, you have questions in gate. Clear? So always remember, right? Always remember what they're asking, right? Whether they're asking initial value or whether they're asking final value, right? So in initial value or final value. So based on this, you need to solve, right? So based on this, you need to decide whether we should substitute s is equal to infinity or s is equal to 0. Both based questions we have already done, right? I hope you remember. Clear? Now, once this is also over, right? So once this is also over, we have started with what? Our forcing functions, right? So forcing functions are there. In that we have step input, right? And pulse input, impulse input is there, ramp input is there, and sinusoidal input is there, right? Out of that, in gate, which are the major input? One is step, second sinusoidal, because sinusoidal input has more significance when we study your frequency response, right? So frequency response, so sinusoidal is important. So, and step response is also important for our gate questions, right? So most of the questions are based on step input, unit step input, etc. So we'll first discuss what was our step input. If you remember step input, right? So it is our, if you see this is, if this is t is equal to 0, right? So we used to draw like this. We can draw like according to our wish, right? So according, for example, if you're drawing the deviation variable, you can draw it in a different way, right? If you're drawing it directly based on normal variable, you can draw it, right? So simply the meaning is we have different diagrams are available in the textbook, but basically you need to understand the logic is after a particular time, that is, for example, this switch, right? This switch is on now, right? This switch is on now. So my observation starts from this point, that is, I'm switching off this, right? So at t equal to 0, I'm making a change and it is going to continue, right? So we are normally interested in what, right? We are normally interested in x of t is equal to, if it is m or a, so it is a step input, right? So we will say the Laplace of this is m by s, right? So the Laplace of this is m by s. If it is 1, then we will call it as what? Unit step input, right? We will call it as unit step input. So based on this and several other input methods, we have problems. So whenever you make short notes, right? So try to make it like, for example, include everything, right? For example, we can see this diagram. 1 minute. Right? Step input, pulse input, impulse input, ramp input, and sinusoidal input, right? So out of this, you know how to find whether it is bounded or unbounded, right? So what is the meaning of bounded? If we give finite input, we are getting finite output, right? So out of this, we have only one unbounded function, that is our ramp function, right? So that is our ramp function. So if you apply final value theorem, right? So if you apply final value theorem, you are getting what? You are getting infinity for ramp function. Clear? So that's why it is called unbounded, right? So all the other things are bounded. So remember this. So remember the equation. So remember the graph, etc. for each and every point, right? So it will be easier for you to understand. So I hope you have gone through this, right? So you have the notebook with you, PDC, so go through these things. So it will make your understanding better, right? So these are the things. So based on this, they can ask you questions, right? So just basic things, impulse, right? So remember the examples, right? That is for step input. If you remember, I just told you, right? So the switching on the fan off, right? Anything in regular life, you can find the example, right? We have discussed a lot about this in the classroom. I hope you remember, right? That is opening a valve from 30% to 40% and maintaining at 40% is a step input, right? And if we open the valve from 30 to 40, then we come back to 30 means what? It is a pulse input, right? So the impulse input means what? We have told natural disasters, right? So ramp input is there, sinusoidal input is there. So all the inputs are important, but most of the cases, right? What is important for us is the next part, that is your transfer function. So we will write the transfer function as y of s by x of s. So in all the PDC, what we are going to do is to find the value, find the response equation. What is the equation? What is the equation of response equation? That is y of s is equal to g of s into x of s, right? So x of s will decide, right? So your input forcing function will be given by this x of s. For example, if it is a step function, unit step function, this value will be 1 by s, right? So according to that, you should substitute. Now, what are we doing in the upcoming chapters, right? What are we doing? Actually, we are going to find our y of t, right? That is what happens to our function at different period of time. That is how after t equal to 2, after t equal to 3, right? For this, I hope you remember, we told an example in the class. What was the example? That is the example of the egg, right? Boiled egg, we will say, right? Boiled egg. So if I put this egg in a hot water, right? So we wanted to know after 5 minutes, right? We wanted to know after 5 minutes whether will we be able to eat this egg or not, right? Whether we are able to eat this egg or not, because if it is very hot, we won't be able to eat it. Clear? So this is a boiled egg. Initially, the temperature was at 100 degrees Celsius, right? Boiled egg, okay, already boiled. So now I'm putting this inside water, cold water, so that I should be able to eat this particular egg, right? So I can eat this egg only if it is reaches at least 30 degrees Celsius, for example, I'm saying, right? So I want this to reach 30 degrees Celsius. So for reaching 30 degrees Celsius, how much time I should wait? That is the question, right? That is the question. So same way, opposite also you can think, right? That is after 5 minutes, what should be the temperature of the egg, right? For finding this, right? For finding this, we need to find temperature as a function of time. We need to find an equation based on temperature as a function of time. So for this, what we are doing, right? We are modeling this particular system, a first order system, second order system, according to that, right? So when we do the energy balance, whatever equation you are getting is what? First order system. Now, what is the meaning of first order system? That is, if the equation, right? So whatever equation, whatever mathematical model we are developing, if it is in a first order differential equation, we can call the system as what? First order system. So in case of egg, right, most of the cases in a chemical engineering cases, right, we are getting first order because we are doing what? We are doing basic mass balance or energy balance or material balance. So when we do this, most of the cases we are getting what? We are getting first order system, right? So physical examples in our syllabus, GATE chemical engineering will be always based on first order system, because the second order system will come after the result of momentum balance equation, right? I hope you remember the momentum balance equation from your fluid mechanics. That is sigma F net is equal to mass flow rate into V2 minus V1. So when we do this, right, when we do this momentum balance in a particular system, you may get the second order equation, right? So you have equations for second order, but in physical systems, we don't have anything for chemical engineering. So in GATE, most of the physical cases like tank system or anything are based on thermometer, everything, right? Egg, everything is based on what? First order. So our interest is to go deep into first order and analyze the things, because the practical questions conducted in your chemical engineering syllabus will be based on this tank system or egg, right? Or this thermometer. These questions will be coming, right? But for second order, we are just studying what? Equation, and we are studying what? Overshoot, decay ratio, these kind of things. We are not going into physical systems in second order. Clear? So this is the meaning. Now in first order, right? What is the equation for first order transfer function? What is the transfer function of first order? We are not going to derive it again because there is no time for derivation now, right? Because already we know this, right? That is, what is the equation? Kp divided by tau s plus 1, right? So Kp is our steady state gain. We can say gain of the system. Tau is our time constant, right? So tau s plus 1. Now we are interested in response of the first order system according to the 5 inputs or 4 inputs or 3 inputs, whatever. First input we need to check is what? Always unit step input or step input. Clear? Then we need to, if you want, you can substitute what? For example, if I write this is equal to what? Your y of s divided by x of s. Clear? So if I want to write this y of s, I need to multiply Kp by tau s plus 1 with an x of s. According to the value of x of s, you should be able to write y of t. Clear? Now, in the first example we have studied in our syllabus, with what we are multiplying? We are multiplying by m by s, where we will say your x of t is m, that is a step input, right? And x of s will be what? M by s. If this x of t is ramp, you can substitute accordingly. Impulse, you can substitute accordingly. Sinusoidal, you can substitute accordingly. Clear? So this is what we are doing. Now, once you write this, we will be able to write this y of t, right? We will be able to write this y of t. How we are going to write y of t from y of s? That is inverse Laplace, right? What are the equations you have for finding inverse Laplace? You have a lot of equations like this, methods. If you see this equations, 1 minute, right? If you see the inverse Laplace equations, how to do this partial fraction, this is important, right? So this also should be written in your short notes. That is 1 by s plus 1 into 1 by s plus 2. How we are going to split and write, right? A by s plus 1 plus b by s plus 2. So a into e power minus t, b into e power minus 2t. So whatever you are writing here is y of t. Right, you are writing the equation for y. That is, if you know the value of a and b, you should be able to write the value of y. Right, if you know the value of a and b, if you substitute t is equal to 0, you will get the y. If you substitute t equal to 2 seconds, you will get the value of y. Simple, right? So you should know what are the things we need to do. That is here. So sometimes in the question, according to the question, they will be writing some sentences, right? Find the value of this time domain, s domain accordingly. So logically, you should understand what we are doing, right? You know it is inverse Laplace, you know it is Laplace, but you should know why we are doing it. Clear? So if you want to find the equation, that is according to the time, what is the reaction? That is, what is the temperature of egg at time t equal to 5 minutes? If you want to find that, you need to write an equation of y of t, not y of s. Clear? Because you are not substituting anything for s. You are substituting what? T. That is, after time t equal to 5 minutes, what is the value of the function? Right? What is the temperature of the egg? Clear? So that's why we are doing what? Inverse Laplace. Clear? I hope it is clear. So then we will do this, right? So once we do this equation, you can by heart, right? So definitely everybody should know this. That is mkp into 1 minus e power minus t by tau, because always you won't have time to do the Laplace, right? Do the inverse Laplace. No, remember this equation. Now you already know what is y of t. Y of t is not the temperature. It is not the temperature. It is the change in temperature. So we will write it as y of t minus change in this, that is the steady state temperature. What is the initial temperature? So that is equal to mkp into 1 minus e power t by tau. So this is the basic equation, right? This is the basic equation. So based on this basic equation, if you can remember this equation, everything we can solve it, right? That is according to the case they are giving, right? According to whichever physical system they are giving. If you remember this equation, by substituting the value of tau and substituting the value of kp, you can solve any question. Clear? So this is the method, right? So this is the method. So if you remember the graph, for this particular case, if you remember the graph, that is like this. Time t equal to 0, we will say it is YSS, for example. Right? Then this is mkp. This is your small letter y of t. Clear? Then this will be the graph. Right? This will be the graph. So how we are able to draw this graph? Because you know small letter y of t minus YSS is your capital letter Y of t. This is equal to what? We found it as mkp into 1 minus e power minus t by tau. So how you are able to draw this graph? Because when you substitute time t is equal to 0, that is at this point, right? When you substitute time t is equal to 0, e power 0, and this will cancel, and you will get what? The value, right? You will get that particular value, capital letter Y of t. Same way, if you substitute t equal to infinity, you will get what? The ultimate value of response, mkp, right? So your value is changing from this point to this point. Clear? So this is the graph, right? So this is the graph. So we are at time t is equal to 0, your value is not 0. Your y of t is 0, the change is 0, but there will be some steady state value. Clear? There will be some steady state value. With our examples, you should be able to understand this, right? Whether it will be your tank system example, whether it will be your thermometer example, right? Whether it will be your egg example, right? That is initially whatever temperature is there, right? So at the observation time, at the starting of the observation time, what was your temperature? That will be your YSS. Sometimes it can be 0 also, right? According to the question, you should understand this. Clear? So only if you understand this, you will be able to solve the question. That is capital Y of t is equal to Y of t minus YSS. So if it is a liquid tank level system, this Y of t will be the height of the tank, small letter Y of t. Clear? This will be the height of the tank, for example, for steady state. Clear? So based on this, you should be able to understand the questions. Clear? So this is the meaning. Now, if you remember, if you substitute time t is equal to tau, you will get almost here 0.632 times mkp, right? And if you once you substitute almost 4 times or 5 times of tau p, you will reach the ultimate value of response, right? So this also we have done. So what is the meaning of tau? Go back to the definition and read it, right? So clearly, what is the meaning of tau also? If you start with the same rate, if this particular change is going with the same rate, it will reach the ultimate value of response, right? It will reach the ultimate value of response at time t equal to tau. That is our reaction if that follows the same initial rate. That is whatever be your initial speed, right? Whatever be your initial speed, if it continues in that speed, it should have reached the ultimate value of response in t equal to tau. Right, this thing also we have discussed in the class with an example of that gate preparation. Right, we start our preparation in June very fast, June or July. In the first month, our rate of preparation will be very, very high. Right, if you go in that speed, you will cover the total syllabus maybe fast in maybe 2 or 3 months if you follow that rate. But we will never go by that rate. Right, we will go like this. Right, and still we haven't reached. Right, still the preparation is remaining, right? So I hope you remember these kind of examples we have discussed in the class. Clear? So this was our what? First order system, right? Basic first order system. Now still we haven't started our physical systems, right? We haven't started our tank system or mercury thermometer, but still this is almost your 20% of PDC. Clear? So when we see some problems, right? So in the gate, right? So that is our previous year gate question itself. If you see some previous year gate question, let me just show some question. Right. So for example, this question, you can see, we will read this question and go forward, right? That is, a process is initially at steady state with its output y is equal to 1 for an input u is equal to 1. Clear? So then they are asking, right? They're asking, I hope you might have done this several times. The input is suddenly changed to 2 at time t equal to 0. So first you need to understand what they are asking. They are asking the transfer function. So the transfer function is equal to y of s by x of s. So first you need to find what? Y of t minus y of tss, right? That is 1 plus 2t is your, for example, you can see here, 1 plus 2t is your y of t. This is your yss. Same way, right? Same way, your x of t is 2, but x of tss, that is your input change, input at steady state is 1. So you should find what? Both y of s and x of s. Right. So then divide both, you will get the answer. Right. I hope you remember y of s by x of s. Right. So final answer, I guess it is 2 by s. Right. So you should be able to solve. So by reading this question, you should understand what is y of s, what is x of s. Right. Y of s is the Laplace of the deviation variable. Right. Y of s is the Laplace of deviation variable. That is, we will be writing what? Y of s divided by x of s. So y of s is the Laplace of deviation variable. What is the deviation variable here? Deviation variable here is 1 plus 2t minus 1. So it will be 2t, right? So y of s will become what? 2 by s square, right? I hope you're able to solve this when I'm saying this, right? Now the input change, x of t is what? Capital X of t. It will be 2 minus 1, that is 1. So x of s will be what? 1 by s, right? So 2 by s square divided by 1 by s, you will get 2 by s. So the option A will be correct, right? So these kind of questions we have done. Clear? So understanding each topic is important, right? So based on that only we'll be solving. So if you see next question, right? So this is another question, right? If you remember this periodic function, we have written an equation for periodic function, right? And then we started to solve. Right? So these kind of questions are also there in Laplace. We don't know whether they are asking this from mathematics or whether they are asking this from PDC. Right? We don't have any connection with the question directly with PDC. But if they're asking, right? If they are asking, what is the meaning of periodic function? Periodic function means, for example, you can see here, from 0 to 2, the function after 0 to 2, that is from 0 to 2, you can see here, 0 to 2, the function is that value, that is, it is going like this and coming like this. But after 2, if you see, the same function from 0 to 2 is repeating, right? That's what happening, right? So once that particular part is closed, right? Once that particular part is closed, that is from 0 to 2, you have a particular function. Then from 2 to 4, you have a repetition. From 4 to 6, you again have a repetition. Clear? So that is your periodic function. I hope you remember we have written an equation for periodic function, right? So if you use that equation, it's a direct calculation, right? So if you want, you can go through the backside, right? So this is a gate question, right? So periodic function meaning is this one, that is, after a particular time interval, the function is repeating itself, right? That is your periodic function. So next, right? So this is about your periodic function. So it can be from PDC, it can be from mathematics, doesn't matter, because everything comes under gate, right? So there is no question if it is mathematics or this one. So if you see next question, 15, question number 15, gate 2004. Time domain f of t is equal to t is given. They're asking directly Laplace transform, right? So these kind of questions is also there, right? Direct question they can ask. So remembering Laplace is important. So you can see how many number of questions are there, right? So try to solve it. The problem with these kind of questions is like you should not take it very easily, right? You should not take it very easily. Sometimes, right, at the moment, right, you may feel like, okay, t, like that you will substitute something and you will get wrong answers, right? So if you see t, you should not substitute 1 by s square, right? So or 2 by s square or something, like you should not take it that right away. There is an integral term is there, right? So there is an integral term is there. So that also you need to solve, right? So the option will be C. Clear? So these kind of questions they can ask. This next one, if you see, no, this one that I will discuss, unit step response. 1 minute before that, right? So another Laplace question, Laplace transform of the input function, right? Based on this also they can ask. Clear? That is, we need to first find 0 to 2, what is the function? Then 2 to infinity, e power minus st into f of t dt, right? So this is another type of Laplace question they can ask. Clear? So these kind of question also they can ask in Laplace, right? So remembering the Laplace equation and knowing how to solve it, right? So that will help you, right? So this question, not this one, let me check. Right, so this one next, 47, if you see, unit step input is given to a process that is represented by the transfer function s plus 2 by s plus 5. And they're asking, what is the initial value of the response of the process to a step input? So which theorem we will use, initial value theorem or final value theorem? Which theorem we will use, initial value theorem or final value theorem? Right, so they are asking the initial values, obviously it should be what? Initial value theorem, that is you need to substitute s is equal to infinity, right? You need to substitute s is equal to infinity. Those who are substituting s is equal to 0, you will get 2 by 5, that is there also in the option, right? So you should not get confused with initial and final, right? So students had earlier made these kind of mistakes, right? So both will be there in the option, both initial and final, both values will be there in the option. So here the answer will be 1, right? So here the answer will be 1. Now you can see another question for inverse Laplace transform, right? So you can see how many number of times they have asked this question, right? Based on Laplace. So go through that as well, right? So another question, let me check. Any other questions are there here? 1 minute. Yes, this is mercury thermometer just before that, right? So now, what are the things we have discussed? Y of s is equal to Kp divided by tau s plus 1 multiplied by x of s, right? Multiplied by x of s. So we have already discussed the step input. Now, if it is an impulse input, this will become what? 1, right? This will become 1 if it is an impulse input. Same way, if it is a ramp input, you can write the equation. If it is a sinusoidal, you should be able to write the equation. So go through that equation, right? So if it is this, what will be y of t? Right, your y of t will be Kp divided by tau into e power minus t by tau. Right, if you take the inverse, right, y of t, just based on this, you have the questions. Right, in GATE, you have directly based on this. That is, if the response is, right, if it is an impulse response for a first order system, the equation. Right, normally they ask only two, that is step response and impulse response in GATE, because inverse is very easy. Right, inverse is very easy, so people will be easily remembering this. Clear? So this is the equation. So if you substitute t is equal to 0, you can get the value Kp by tau. If you substitute t is equal to infinity, this will become 0. Clear? So based on impulse response, they can ask. Clear? So this is the meaning. So based on this, you have questions in GATE. Direct question, right? So they will be asking direct questions in GATE based on impulse response. For example, if you see this question, unit step response for a first order system with time constant, directly based question is there, right? That is, you have the equation mkp into 1 minus e power minus t by tau. If it is a unit step, m will be 1, right? So go through the questions as well, right? So whenever you study or revise one topic, just go through the GATE, right? Just go through the book you have from 2000 to 2020. Just go through what are the questions they have asked previously, right? So that will give you more confidence, right? That is, you have studied up to Laplace and first order system. Now, what are the things you know already? So based on that, try to revise it once again, right? Mark the important questions in the book. So tick it, that is, you are able to solve this particular question, you can understand. Clear? So you can see 81, a unit impulse response of a first order system with time constant and steady state gain is given by. So they have asking 4 options are there. So based on that, they can ask. It's a direct question, right? It's a direct question. So those who have studied this, they will be easily able to write it, right? For others, they will get confused. So whenever, if you have any confusion, try to derive it, right? So try to derive it. So it will add to your confidence, right? So that's the meaning. Okay, so, right. So there are some more questions are there, right? So go through that also. So once you finish this, you will start with what? Your physical system. What are the physical system we have? Tank system, right? So whenever you're free or something, just draw the tank system and write the material balance, write the energy balance, etc. Right? So check whether you are able to derive the equation or not. I know you know the equation, that is h of s by q of s is this, right? H q1 of s by q naught of s is this. Everybody know the equation, but just check whether you are able to derive it or not, right? Whenever you after some like 1 hour of revision or something, if you are feeling bored, right, take another subject and write, right, and try to derive something, whether you are able to do it or not, right? So just to check. So for example, like this, you have a q inlet is coming in, so this is your height of the tank or height of water in this, right? And you have a valve, and this is q naught, right? And the first case normally we take is what? Q outlet is equal to h by r, right? So h by r, this is the first case normally we will take, right? So based on this, whenever we solve, right? 1 minute. You have what? Qi, excuse me, Qi minus Q naught is equal to what? A into dH by dt. This is the normal first step of derivation. Qi at steady state, sorry, Qi at steady state minus Q naught at steady state is equal to A into dHs by dt. When you first equation minus second equation, you get the deviation variable, take it, right? So then do everything, take the Laplace. You will get what finally? You will get this, that is h of s by input is what? Qi of s is equal to, your equation is r divided by AR s plus 1. So this is your general equation for all the tank system, right? This is your general equation for all the tank system, right? So Kp is equal to R, AR is your tau value. Clear? So whenever we solve, right? Whenever we solve, if they are asking you to find a value of h of t, what is h of t? H of t is equal to mkp into, you should be able to write this equation once again, e power minus t by tau. Here m will be the change in the input, right? Change in the input. What is the input here? Qi, right? So according to the change in the flow rate, that will become m. Kp will be r, tau will be area into r, right? Tau will be area into r. So this is the meaning. Clear? But this h of t is not the height of the water in the tank. This h of t will be small letter h of t minus height at steady state, right? So here only problem you might face in the gate is how to find this steady state height, right? How you are going to find this steady state height. It is very simple to find the steady state height. Always this value is calculated from what? Your steady state balance. That is, we will write what? Qi at steady state minus Q out at steady state is equal to A into dHs by dt. Steady state, there is no change in height, so this value will become 0. So by substituting this, right, Qi at steady state is equal to, what will be this? Q naught is this, so it will be h steady state divided by r, right? So h steady state, you can find it by using steady state balance. So that you will understand when you solve some more problems. Clear? So this is the meaning for our first order system with a tank system. Clear? So this is the point. Now, if you remember, same way, we have written Q naught of S divided by Qi of S is equal to 1 by AR S plus 1. This also we have written, that is the change in output, that is the flow rate with respect to flow rate, right? That is also there. Clear? So that equation also you can remember. Now, once we are okay with this, then we will change what? Q naught is equal to C power H power half. That is non-linear equation, right? If it is a non-linear case. So if you remember your Bernoulli equation from fluid mechanics, normally your equation will come like this, right? Bernoulli equation from fluid mechanics, when you do problems, you will get almost flow rate is equal to almost this relation you will get in fluid mechanics, right? So when you study fluid mechanics, connect with this. So it will be easier for you to study. Right. So how to find by using Bernoulli? We will substitute what? 0.1, 0.2, then we will find the velocity V2, then we will multiply by the area. Clear? So you will get a relation like this always for the outlet flow rate. So this is a more practical equation, right? So this is a more practical equation. So how to solve it? Very simple. There is no need to remember anything, right? So we have already discussed this. The value of R is always 1 divided by differentiation of this Q naught when H is equal to HSS. Right, only remember this. That's enough to solve all questions, right? So how to differentiate this? That is, R is equal to the value of R is 1 divided by differentiation of this term is C divided by 2 root H. This is your differentiation, but we have to substitute H is equal to HSS. So this will be HSS. So R will be 2 root of steady state height divided by C. So instead of R, you can substitute this entire term here. AR, that is your tau is AR, right? Your time constant is AR. So if you know the value of R, just multiply by A. Area, you will understand, right? They will give you the value of area. So multiply that with this, you will get the equation. There is no need to remember that linearization equation and all, not required, because when we derive that equation, it was important for us to derive it completely, right? By using that linearization equation like this, that is root H is equal to root HS plus H minus HS. We wanted to study that because you need to know the way, what are the like steps we have done for that. But now it is already done, right? You have done that derivation several times. Now just remember this for the sake of solving the question. Clear? So if you know the value of R, definitely you can do the remaining. Clear? So this is the point. Now, once you discuss these two things, right? So once we have already done this, just solve some questions in GATE, right? Just solve some questions. That is the easiest questions or whatever question they've asked from these topics. So take some questions and solve, right? So then you will understand it better how to solve it, right? For example, since we have discussed tank system, let me show 1 or 2 questions. Yes, this question, if you see, this includes everything almost, right? That is, you can see a tank of volume, right? The tank is given, volume is given, right? So there is a tank is given, volume is 0.25, height is 1 meter, right? So height is 1 meter is given. So volume and height is given means from that first statement itself, you should write the area is 0.25. Done. Now the water is flowing at 0.05 meter cube per minute. So that will be your steady state value, right? So it is coming in nicely at 0.05 meter cube per minute. Now outlet flow rate is governed by the relation F out is equal to 0.1 H. So F out is equal to 0.1 H. So you should find this equation is already a linear equation, right? It is already F out is equal to 0.1 H is already a linear equation. So the question should be simple. That is, we have already written Q naught is equal to H by R. For this, you have already the relation, right? So you can directly write what? R will be equal to 10, right? Here, they have given F out, that is your outlet flow rate is equal to 0.1 H. So 0.1 means what? 1 by 10, right? So this is in the form of H by R. So you can directly write what? Capital R is 10, right? So you know the area as well. Area is what? 0.25. So 0.25 multiplied by capital R will give you what? 2.5 is the value of tau. You have all the values now, right? You know what is the value of R. You know what is the value of AR. Sir, but here volume is not given, but the height is given, right? Right. And tank is having volume 0.25 meter cube. Height is 1 meter. So what will be the area? 0.25 by 1. Clear? Is that okay? Right. So the area will be what? 0.25 meters square. Clear? I hope it is done. Volume is 0.25, height is 1 meter. So area will be what? 0.25. Right. So that's the point. Now, if you see the inlet flow rate, now the question starts, right? So the inlet flow rate changes suddenly from its nominal value of 0.05 to 0.15. Now you can see sudden change from one point to another point and remains there. So you have to understand it as a step input, right? So from what point you can understand it as a step input? Because the inlet flow rate changes from one value to another value and remains there. So your value of M, that step change, right? The value of M will be, right? The value of M will be 0.15 minus 0.05, right? So whatever is that value, that will be what? That will be your M. And they are asking the time at which the tank will begin to overflow, right? The time at which the tank will begin to overflow. So the simplest thing is when the tank will begin to overflow, right? When the tank will begin to overflow, when water in the tank will be equal to tank height, right? According to the question, they have given the height of the tank is 1 meter, right? Height of the tank is 1 meter and area of the tank is 0.25 because they have given volume of the tank is 0.25 meter cube. Clear? So this is also given. Now, what is the question? When, at what time you will have the overflow of the tank? When will be the overflow? When water in the tank reaches 1 meter, right? Water in the tank reaches 1 meter. That's what we need to find. So what is the equation you have? Small letter y of t minus your YSS, right? Or if you want, you can write in terms of H. Height of the tank minus whatever height in steady state is equal to m into Kp into 1 minus e power minus t by tau. Clear? So this is the equation, general equation, right? This is the general equation. Now, my question is, can I substitute this term as 1? No, because this is a change, right? This is the change. Initially, the water level in the tank is not 0. Definitely, there will be some water level, right? If initially the water level is 0, you can substitute this is 1 meter, no problem. But now the problem is what, right? Now the problem is, you know, h of t is 1 meter, right? That is, if whenever the height of the tank becomes 1 meter, the tank will overflow. So small letter h of t is 1 meter, but you don't know what is the steady state height of the tank. What was the initial height of the tank? It can be 0.5 meter, it can be 0.25 meter, it can be 0, it can be anything, but you have to find it, right? So for finding m, you know what is the difference in flow rate, right? They have given the value that is 0.15 to 0.05, whatever, that will be your m. Kp is your r, that you have already calculated. 1 minus e power minus t by tau, also you know, that is area into resistance. All values are there. Only which value is not available? Time, that you need to calculate, but you don't know the value of HSS. So now is the important part, how to calculate the value of HSS. So whenever you want to find the steady state value, you have to do by the steady state balance. What is the steady state balance? Inlet flow rate at steady state will be equal to outlet flow rate at steady state. Right, that is, there is no accumulation at steady state, that is input is equal to output. Just equate this, right? Just equate this, or this was the equation, right? A into dHs by dt. There is no change in height at steady state. There is no change in property with respect to time. So this will be 0, right? So that is like this. This we already know. Now Q in is equal to, what is F out? It is 0.1 H at steady state. You know the input flow rate, so divide by 0.1, you will get the HSS, then find the answer. Clear? So this type of questions also. So whenever we go through the topics, right? Whenever we go through the topic, just go through the questions, right? That is, what are the type of questions they have asked. If you see, there are maximum 3 or 4 questions in one topic, not more than that. So it will be very easy, right? That is, whenever you revise something, that happens in every subject. Let it be fluid mechanics, let it be heat transfer or anything, right? Whenever you do conduction or conduction in that itself, if you do only one-dimensional conduction, just go through your gate book. That is, you will have maximum 4 or 5 questions type, maximum 5 type of questions, right? So once you quickly go through that, you will get some more confidence. That is, simple thing is, I've already said this, right? That is, you have a book of 2000 to 2020, right? 20 years you are practicing, so you should get more than 60 marks, right? Because they cannot ask anything new, right? Maximum new question, new topic or new type of question they can add is maybe 30-40% maximum. They have to go, they have to follow the other things, right? That is 60 marks they should ask from the previous year question, type of previous year question. Clear? So once you are okay with this part, definitely it will be very easy for you to get the marks. Clear? So this is the point. Now, this is one type, right? So this was one type of question we were discussing. Next type. One minute. So this was a question we have discussed. I think whatever answer 1.73 or something you are getting. There was one more question. Let me check just 1 minute. So this is from first order. We'll come to thermometer later, no problem. I think the photo is like this, okay, but you need to see from this angle. Right, that is, they are asking here, the question is only like this. Q out is given as √3h. Right, so just simple case, that is Q out is given as not a 3 root h. This is the value they have given, right? 3 root h, and they are asking capital HS is given 36. Capital HS is given 36, and 18, what is 18 in that? 18 centimeter cube, whatever, that's whatever they have given. Now, if you see here, for a tank of cross-sectional area, 100 centimeter square is also given, right? For a tank of cross-sectional area, 100 centimeter square is also given. A is equal to 100 centimeter square. So when you see that question, you may think that is very difficult at the first time, right? Since you have solved that question several times now, it may be easy for you. So whenever there is a non-linear equation, very easy to find the value of R, right? What is R? That is differentiation of Q naught dash. Put H is equal to HS. Simple. So when you take the differentiation, R is equal to 2 root H S divided by 3. Clear? So from this, R will be what? HS is given as 36. So root of 36, 6. So this R will be 4. Right. So once this R is 4, you know what is the equation for G of S? G of S will be R divided by ARS plus 1. You don't have to solve anything to find this because A is given. So it will be 4 divided by 100 S plus 1. That is R is 4. This is 1. So 400 S plus 1. Clear? So even though it's a 2-mark question, it's a very lengthy question. They have given Q in, Q out. Everything is given. That is, there is a value like Q in is 18 meter cube per second or something is given. No need. Right? If you know this particular simple method, we can solve it. Right? So by seeing this, there is no need to do the entire linearization or entire thing. No. Right? So keep the shortcut, do it, tick it. Right? So it's a very simple question. So these are the 2 or 3 type of question they have asked based on what? Your tank system. Right? Clear? Based on tank system first order. Now, if you see the other first order question, right? The major first order question you have is based on mercury thermometer, right? Mercury thermometer, what? The same equation. Y of T minus YSS is equal to, again it is MKP into 1 minus e power minus T by tau. Here in tank system, sorry, in mercury thermometer, tau is equal to MCP divided by HA, Kp is equal to 1. Right, Kp is equal to 1. So once you know this particular equation, right, once you know this particular equation, it will be very easy to solve, right? And if you remember tau, what is the equation of tau? Tau is capacitance into resistance. This is one way of representing it, right? Capacitance into resistance. That is, we used to write tau is equal to area into resistance. Area is the capacity to store something, right? Capacity to store energy or mass. If you say tank, area of the tank is the capacity to store mass. If more area, more mass we can store. Clear? This is the meaning, right? This is the meaning, same way. So area represents your capacitance. R obviously represent what? Resistance. Here, what is 1 by HA? 1 by HA is your resistance, heat transfer resistance, convection heat transfer resistance, right? MCP is what? It is your storage. That is your capacitance. Clear? So these things also you should remember, right? These things also you should remember. Sometimes in the question they can ask, other than these examples, you know, that is, what are the examples we know? One is thermometer, we know. One is this one, you know, that is tank system, we know. Right? We know these kind of things. If they're asking other than this first order systems, how can you find it from the matching column in the right hand side? Use this. check the unit, right? Capacitance, resistance formula. So you should be able to find the value of tau. Clear? So this is about your first order, right? So again, if you see the questions based on mercury thermometer questions are directly based, right? And very, very simple, right? Only thing is you have to understand what? You have to understand what is the initial value, right? What is the initial value of whatever temperature they are asking. If you see, assume that ordinary mercury in glass thermometer follows first order dynamics. Remember, sometimes they may give you that this is an ordinary mercury thermometer and it follows first order will be given in the question. Sometimes they will not give you this idea, right? You have to remember thermometer is a first order system, then you can use it. Now, time constant is given 10 seconds. Steady state temperature 0 degrees Celsius. At time t equal to 0, thermometer is suddenly immersed in a constant temperature bath at 100 degrees Celsius. Now, what is the meaning? That is, you have a sudden change. So your capital M will be 100 minus 0. So 100 will be your capital M. That is your step change. Now the time required for the thermometer to read 95. So 95 minus 0, right, equal to M into Kp is not there, 1 minus e power t by tau. Clear? Sometimes they will give you the time constant directly, or sometimes you have to find the time constant from your equation, right? That is mCp by HA. Now, if you see these thermometer problem, right? These thermometer problems are given in your heat transfer, lumped heat capacity analysis chapter as well, right? Heat transfer, lumped heat capacity chapter as well. So if you remember, in heat transfer, we are using the same equation only, right? We are using the same equation, e power t by tau, etc. I hope if you remember this equation, ln t minus t infinity divided by ti minus t infinity equal to, what was the equation, right? Minus HA by rho VCP into T. This is the equation we use, right? So this is the equation we use normally for what? Lumped heat capacity analysis, right? So based on this also you can solve this kind of problem, no problem, right? But if you are solving by using lumped heat capacity analysis, normally in heat transfer, they will give you all the 4 temperatures if they are asking T, right? They will give you 3 temperatures and some time if they want to find capital T, right? Both cases you can solve, right? Both cases you can solve, both are same. That is, you can see here, rho V is M, right? So mCp by HA is what? It is minus T by tau, right? So if I take this ln this side, right? So that is e power ln, right? E power minus t by tau, that term will be already there. This mkp will denote this ti minus t infinity, right? So that depends, right? So when you do this, you will understand it, right? So always compare this with the other subjects as well whenever you study, right? So same question they can ask in different ways, right? Sometimes they can connect these two and ask, right? Nowadays that also happening. Some subjects will be connected, right? Since we are studying the same topic, if they are asking, you should be able to solve. Clear? So this is the point. Then I hope you remember, right? So this is the end of what? Your first order system, right? This is the total end of your first order system. In first order system, these are the topics, and go through each topic, go through all problems you should be able to solve, right? Almost if you see your first 25% of the syllabus is first order. Questions are from first order, right? So out of the 8 marks, normally 3 marks is for this first order part, right? First order, second order combined normally, right? Other than directly going for this block diagram and etc., always this 2 to 3 marks will be always for this first and second order. And if you, especially if you see the questions after 2014, more questions are from second order, right? Because from 2000 to 2014, the questions from second order are very, very less, right? Nowadays, they have started to ask, right? That also you should remember, right? So prepare anyway. Now in second order, before starting the second order, if you remember the qualitative analysis, that will be important, right? Qualitative analysis. So if you know the value of root, or what is the value of pole, right? So left hand side stable, right hand side unstable, right? Complex conjugate, right? That is, if here, if you have a pole like this, on this one, what happens? On the center, what happens? On this, what happens? Right? So whenever you get time, just go through that. right? So for example, if I want to share that particular photo, let me share it 1 minute. So you will see that 1 minute. Right. So I hope you remember we have discussed this particular figure. That is, if you have, right, if you have a function like 1 by s plus 4, the value of the pole will be -4. So -4 means that will come here. Right. -4 will come here. So that will represent a diagram like this. Right. That will represent a diagram like this. How are you getting this diagram? Once again, how are you getting this diagram? If you inverse this 1 by s plus 4, right? If you inverse this 1 by s plus 4, you will get what? E power minus 4t, right? E power minus 4t. So if you say t tends to infinity, your this value will go to 0. That 0 is a finite value. That's why this graph is showing stable system. Clear? I hope you understood. So 1 by s plus 4, if you inverse that particular thing, you will get what? E power minus 4t. So when t tends to infinity, what will happen? Right, t tends to infinity, e power minus 0, e power minus infinity is 0. So that goes with a finite value. So that's why we are getting a stable system in the left-hand side of the imaginary axis. Clear? So that is the first thing we have discussed in the class. Now, if it is 1 by s minus 4, if your pole value is positive, you can see here this graph. Why? Because you are getting what? E power, not minus 4t, you are getting e power 4t. So if you substitute t equal to infinity, that goes to infinity, right? That's why if you have a positive value, you will be having what? Unstable system. Clear? Then we have what? 1 minute. Clear. So next is what? If you have complex conjugate, right? If you have a complex conjugate, or if you have a positive real part. Positive real part means you can see here positive real part, this particular graph, right? Positive real part A4. So in that case, what happens? It is the graph is going to infinity. So if the graph is going to infinity, what is the meaning? That is, it is an unstable system. Now negative real part, you can see here negative real part. If it is a negative real part, that is -4 plus or minus I or whatever, right? So if it is a negative real part, what you are getting is stable system. You can see that oscillations are coming to a stable value. Now, if you have a 0 real part, right? If you have a 0 real part, you can see this kind of graph, right? You can see this kind of graph. So both same. And based on this also, we have some questions. Clear? I hope you remember, right? So directly based on this, we have questions. So this is your which book? Tufner book, right? So go through this. And this thing we have written in the class, for example, if you remember, for the stable system, poles must be real and negative, right? So whatever we have covered in that same graph, same thing we are explaining here also, right? That is, if poles are real and positive, what happens? Single pole at the origin, multiple pole at the origin, right? So these things we have already written in the books, right? So just go through it. Whenever you read it, try to understand from where we are getting here, right? That is, if it is, for example, 1 by, once again I'm saying 1 by s minus 4 means s will be equal to 4. That is a positive value. Positive means in the right hand side. So when you inverse this particular equation, you are getting what? E power 4t. If you substitute t equal to infinity, this value will go to infinity. That's why it is unstable, right? That's why it is unstable. So for all cases, you should be able to understand this, right? So this is our qualitative analysis. So the qualitative analysis should be done just before your second order system, right? To understand these things. Clear? On this also we have questions. Now, 1 minute. G of s for the second order system. Second order system is compared to first order, right? We have very less equations to remember. That is Kp divided by tau square s square plus 2 eta tau s plus 1. And denominator, we will call this as characteristic equation. If you put it equal to 0, you will get two value, that is s1. First root is what? Minus eta divided by tau plus root of eta square minus 1 by tau. S2 is equal to minus eta tau minus root of eta square minus 1 by tau. Clear? So according to the value of eta, right? According to the value of eta, you will get what? Different values of S1 and S2. Anyway, this value will be what? Both will be negative. So normally we will say second order system is default stable system, right? Default stable system, because whatever be the values of eta, right? Whatever be the value of beta, S1 and S2 will be negative, right? If S1 and S2 is negative, you will get what? Default stable system, right? It will be a default stable system. That also we have studied. Another thing, right? So if you see first order system also default stable, we used to say. Why? Because Kp divided by tau s plus 1, right? So this we will be writing Kp by tau 1 like this, right? So S value will be minus 1 by tau. Tau will be always positive. So we will say that particular value is negative. So we will say what? This is also a default stable system. These things also we have done. Clear? Now, whatever we have is what? According to the value of eta, right? According to the value of eta, we will be classifying everything, right? Underdamped, overdamped, critically damped, everything. So in that part itself, right? Underdamped, that part, underdamped systems are important for us because you have that particular graph, underdamped response, right? That response is very much important for us. Why? So this is the qualitative analysis. So if you see here, for a unit step change in the input, right? You have the values of the pole P1 and P2, right? So we will be writing y of s is equal to Kp by tau square. This is your Stephanopoulos book, right? Kp by tau square, s into s minus P1, s minus P2, right? So you have the condition when eta is greater than 1, what happens? We have two distinct and real poles, right? Eta equal to 1, critically damped, right? Eta less than 1. That is when your eta less than 1, that is the most important condition you have, right? You have two complex conjugate poles, right? If it is complex conjugate, what are we doing actually here? I hope you remember. We will take this I outside, right? Here we will take an I outside. So if you take this I outside, this will become what? Right? If you take this I outside, this will become 1 minus eta square divided by tau, right? Plus I, right? So minus I, like this you will be able to write. So you know what is the two complex conjugate poles for the underdamped system, right? That also you will be able to understand. That is, if the eta value is less than 1, have two complex conjugates. So from this equation, right? One minute. From this equation, if you see, we are going to take the I outside, right? Plus or minus I. That is, if you take I outside, this inside, it will become 1 minus eta square by tau. Clear? Based on this also you have question, right? So based on this also you have question. 1 minute. Let me erase this. Clear? So this is our first part, right? This is our first part for underdamped system. Now, next page, if you see, if you can remember these things, that will be important and understand it, right? That is, in case of an underdamped system, if your eta value is increasing, the damping is increasing. When your damping is increasing, it will reach the steady state fast, right? It will reach that particular stop very, very fast. That's the meaning, right? So we are increasing it. So go through these kind of diagrams, which is given in the Stephanopoulos. Now, this is the important diagram as far as our gate is concerned, right? Characteristics. Now, if you see, you know this is UVR, right? Ultimate value of response, right? That is your MKP or AKP or whatever thing you call. So this A plus B is your maximum value of response. Clear? So you have what? You have other terms like most of the questions are based on what? Most of the question, if you see, it is based on this one, that is overshoot. You know the equation of overshoot, e power minus pi into eta divided by this, right? So same way you have decay ratio. So most of the questions in gate from the second order system is based on overshoot and decay ratio. Clear? So we have this, we have to remember this equation. We don't have any other go, right? And period of oscillation and these things. Clear? No, if you remember that one class we have taken in PDC, we have explained that what is period of oscillation. So understanding that wave characteristics, right? I hope you remember this particular thing we have discussed. That is for sine wave or cos wave or whatever, right? So what is this distance, peak to peak distance, or what is this amplitude, right? So, and what is this period of oscillation? What is natural period of oscillation? How to calculate that? Right. So you have lot of equations, in this particular damping. Clear? So writing those equations and understanding those equations are important, because how many times whatever I write here, no matter, you have to remember it, right? The equations like overshoot decay ratio, because overshoot decay ratio derivation we haven't done, right? Because it is not given in your Stephanopoulos also, Kufner also, right? So you have to remember the overshoot and decay ratio equations, otherwise there is no other go, right? So definitely there will be questions from this if you remember. Now if you see the again, right? So this is T, right? Period of oscillation T equation is there, natural period of oscillation. So here you can see, if you want to remember it like this, it's very simple to remember natural period of oscillation, because second order system with eta equal to 0. That is, in your general equation of second order system, if you put eta equal to 0, you will get what? Kp divided by tau square s square plus 1. Right? So that you will be able to write like this. That is s minus j by tau, s plus j by tau. Now they have written, it has purely imaginary poles according to the equation. So if you remember our qualitative analysis, right? If you remember our qualitative analysis, we have given this natural period, right? That is, we have given what constant amplitude system. So that system's equation is this one. G of s is equal to Kp by tau square s square plus 1. So this is an example of what? Constant amplitude system. That is, there is no damping, right? What is the meaning of constant amplitude system? That is, if you see this diagram, that is, there is no damping. That is, this amplitude is same. It's going to be same, continuous. Right? So whenever you read something, whenever you read books, try to understand what are the things we have discussed in qualitative analysis also. Clear? So this is another part. So if you see this question, decay ratio for a system having complex conjugate pole, right? Decay ratio for a system having complex conjugate pole. So you can see here, minus 1 by 10 plus j into 2 by 15. So that 2 by 15 will be what? It will be root of, right? 2 by 15, you can write it will be root of 1 minus eta square by tau. Clear? So this is the way of writing it, right? So this is the way of writing it. And minus 1 by 10 will be what? Minus eta by tau. Right? So these things you need to understand, right? So when you take this I outside, then we are able to write 1 minus eta square. Otherwise, if you didn't take this I outside, this will become what? Right? This will be normally eta square minus 1. You should not have any confusion, because several students has messaged me saying, sir, why it is eta square minus 1, why it is 1 minus eta square. Right? The reason is you are taking this I outside. Right? So when you take this I outside only, this is becoming what? 1 minus eta square. Right? I hope that doubt is also cleared. Right? So this is the meaning. Now, based on this, they are asking decay ratio. So for finding decay ratio, you need what? Eta. Right? For finding decay ratio, what you need to find is eta. So for finding eta, you have the equation. Right? So the remembering equations is very much important. Can see this question, right? So that is the transfer function of a system, right? Transfer function of a system is given, or above that, there is a question 100. That is Laplace transform of a function is given, s plus 1 divided by s into s plus 2. So here they are asking both initial and final value, right? So they are asking respectively means, right? You have to use the same pattern. That is, first find the initial value, then find the final value, right? In this question, same answers are not repeated. Right. But if you see question B, it is 1 and 1 by 2. C, it is 1 by 2 and 1. Right. So solve according to the question. That is very much important. So first find the initial value, then find the final value. Right. So that part is also always important. Clear? Initial value theorem, final value theorem. Now next is what? There is a transfer function of a system. Right. Transfer function of a system is given for a unit step increase. Fractional overshoot. Calculate the fractional overshoot, right? So how to find the fractional overshoot? So remember the equation of overshoot. So here, remember they are asking fractional overshoot. So answer should be in point, right? So whatever 0.34, you should not write 34%, 35% like that, right? So that also happens every time. So here, always check the equation they have given. That is 1 by 4s square plus 1.2s plus 1. So this is in the form of our general equation. So tau will be directly equal to 2. 2 into eta into tau will be equal to 1 by 2. So you can get the values and solve. Clear? So if it is not given in the regular form, right, it is not given in the general form of the equation, you have to make it into general form, right? Otherwise, we cannot solve it. For example, this question you can see, a step change of magnitude 2. So here, remember, whenever you are finding overshoot, right? So whenever you are finding overshoot or something, this step change of magnitude 2, 3, 4 will not have any effect, right? That will have effect only if they're asking what is UVR, right? What is the ultimate value of response? It will be M into Kp. Then only it will come into account. So here, what we need to do first, G of S is equal to 2 divided by S square plus 2S plus 4. So 2 divided by, take the 4 outside, right? So this will become what? S square divided by 4 plus 2 divided by 4 plus 1. Right? So finally, there will be 1 will be there. So then compare with the actual equation. Now, whatever value you are getting at the top, so 2 by 4 will be what? 2 by 4 will be your Kp, right? That is 0.5 will be your Kp. Now, if they're asking ultimate value of response UVR, it will be what? 0.5 into 2. Clear? Because your Kp is here, Kp is 2 by 4. So ultimate value of response is MKP. So MKP will be 2 by 4 into magnitude, that is MKP. That is M is 2, Kp is 2 by 4. You will get MKP equal to 1. If they're asking MKP, I'm asking. Right. So here you can see they are asking percentage overshoot. So you have to multiply it by 100. Right. You should not write it in. You should not write it in fractions. Right. Then you will lose 2 marks. Right. So according to the situation, according to the question, you need to write. Clear? So this is so already we have done. Right. So clear. I hope you understand. So this is about your first order and second order. These are the things you need to remember. If you see, we have, even though we have critically damped and you have over damped cases, your questions are generally from what, right? Your questions are generally from under damped system, right? Your general questions are from under damped system. So that graph is very much important. If you feel at the last time you are not able to revise everything, but the important topics should be revised, right? Like this under damped system, the equations and all should be revised. That is, if you forget to read what happens in overdamped or equations in overdamped or critically damped, no problem, right? Just revise whatever is important, right? At the last time, if you are not able to recollect something, right? So if you are leaving those topics, means you can leave those topics. Don't leave under damped system and all. Clear? Once you read it, you will be easily able to understand it. That is whatever are your overshoot, decay ratio, etc. Now, right now, once these part is over, what you have is you have a non-interacting system, interacting system. I hope you remember non-interacting system, interacting system. Something is coming here. It's coming here like this. This is H1. This is H2. So interacting, non-interacting, we don't have much question, right? But what you need to remember is, remember the idea. That is what is happening in interacting, what is happening in non-interacting. Just remember the idea, that will be enough. That is Q1 depends on H1. Right, that is whatever flow rate coming here will depend on H1. That is already you know. But the variation of H2 does not affect the tank 1. That is whatever happening in H2 will never affect H1. That is, if the tank is full, doesn't matter. If the tank is empty, doesn't matter for H1. Clear? Because it does not have any connection. Right? It does not have any connection. If this tank is full and if the water is overflowing also, here H1 will not be changing, right? That is the meaning of non-interacting system, right? That is the meaning of non-interacting system. So very simple, remember the equation for non-interacting system. If you don't remember the derivation also, now it is almost late, right? If you don't remember the derivation, very simple, remember this H2 of S divided by Q naught of S, that is H2 is this height, Q naught is this one. So remember that equation only, that is R2 divided by tau 1 tau 2 S square plus tau 1 plus tau 2 into S plus 1. I hope this is the equation. Clear? So you should remember that another part also, that is your eta, you will be getting what is what? Arithmetic mean divided by geometric mean. That is arithmetic mean of tau 1 and tau 2 geometric mean of tau1 and tau2. That is your eta, right? That value is your eta. And tau is what? Tau is always root of tau1, tau2. Right, so these things you need to remember. Now, you always know that is arithmetic mean will be always greater than or equal to geometric mean. That is when tau1 is equal to tau2, right? When tau1 is equal to tau2, we will say what? Arithmetic mean and geometric mean are equal. Then eta will be equal to 1. When tau1 is equal to tau2. All other cases, it will be overdamped. That is, eta will be greater than 1. So maximum type of question they will ask normally is based on which type of system, non-interacting system they can give by giving same value of tau, by giving different value of tau. They can ask to write the transfer function. You should be able to write it. Clear? So this is the meaning. Now interacting system, right? Interacting system, what is the change? Interacting means definitely whatever change is there that will affect here also. Right? That is the meaning of interacting system. That is, flow can be from A to B or B to A. Both cases the flow can happen. Right? So here only thing you need to remember is, right? Only thing you need to remember is in this equation, what is the only change? The only change you have is there is a A1 R2 term. Tau1 plus tau2 plus A1 R2 into S plus 1. This is the only change here. Right? This is the only change here. So due to that particular change, due to that extra term, always your this system, interacting system will be overdamped. Your eta will be always greater than 1. That will also come. Clear? So this is the point, right? This is the point. So based on this, we have very less number of questions, right? So this is our first order, second order, and first Laplace, right? So go through these topics first, right? Then in the next class, we will start with our control system. Clear? So remember these things whenever you study, right? So whenever you study something, just revise the questions also, right? Otherwise, only theory will not help you, right? Maximum type of question you have is 4 or 5, right? And it is today is 26, right? 26, we have time, right? So 4 plus 10, 14, right? 14 plus 3, 17 days are the minimum, right? You have 17 days, right? So still, it's not late because you have done all the hard work, right? Some students are saying like, we are already saturated, right? Saturated is a problem, right? We cannot see. We will never have 1 minute. So if there is no resistance, let me check. If there is no resistance in the second tank, we will never have underdamped response. Normally, if we will never have underdamped response normally, because the reason is we are connecting two things, right? So always, most of the time in practically also, we will have, we won't have critically damped also. Always we'll be having this only, right? 1 minute. So recorded lecture on PDC will be available. The PDC lectures are available, I guess. That is, the previous lectures are already available. You can contact Lalaji for that, whatever lectures are there. And those who are asking that question, that is 40, 41, 42, that controller question, right? Majority of the students, they are asking that, which question I don't remember. That is P controller, PI controller, some 40% open, direct acting, indirect acting. Those who want to revise that, PDC last lecture, right? Last lecture, I think it was on December 15th or something. Last lecture, we have explained that particular question, right? That is bias controller or something. I don't remember the question exactly. Just tell me that question number. 1 minute, because most of you are asking me to explain, because I cannot explain it that in video again, because that will be half an hour. 43, 44, 45. Cascade controller, right? This question, right? Cascade controller, this particular part that I have explained in December 15th chapter, right? If possible, tomorrow, if you reach that particular topic by tomorrow, we can discuss that question once again in the class. It's not at all a problem. So if you want to revise it by yourself, December 15th was the class where we discussed the valve characteristics and these questions. Clear? Direct acting, indirect acting, etc. That also you can go through. If we have time in the revision class, definitely we will do that also, right? No problem. Clear? So first order, second order. And what I was saying, right? So regarding these things, right? You have this much time, so prepare accordingly. 1 minute. So time management, these things already people have told, like mostly we'll be having a Zoom session, right? So how to approach this exam in 3 hours or etc. right? Try to finish your whatever exams by 5th maximum, right? That is test series and everything, right? And don't be tense. That is, if you are not able to score in the test series, doesn't matter, right? Basically, it doesn't matter, because if you score very well in this test series and if you are not able to score in the last test, original gate, there is no point, right? So don't worry much, because we have done the hard work, right? So we will know, right? We have prepared from this 20-year question paper. We have done the hard work. So definitely you will get a good rank, right? So if a question is tough for you, for everyone who is attending the gate will be tough. For everyone, it will be tough, right? That's very simple logic, right? Because everybody in this who are preparing will be preparing from this, right? You know that, right? Everybody will be preparing from this, right? There is no like nobody can prepare from extra other than this, right? So it's all about whatever smart work you are doing, how much you are able to understand from these topics. Simple, right? And the chances that from new topic question are also very less, right? But for a safer side, you can go through that that signals, right? So whatever symbols, right? PID symbols, everything you can go through, right? That's the part. But this is the only important thing. If you prepare this, definitely there will be a good rank, right? So according to your test series, if you're writing in like intermediate test series or topper level test series also, if you're not scoring, if you're not able to score, don't be tense, right? That is ultimately the aim is gate, right? Definitely, if you manage the time well, if you prepare it well, you will be able to score, right? So now it's the time to make confidence, right? So don't waste time, right? So whenever you get time, try to read some books. Clear? That's all. Tomorrow we'll start control system. PD echo gate. Can you send that question to me, Rishi, in WhatsApp? So I will reply. Right, no problem. PD echo question. Clear. 1 minute. Let me check which question is that. If possible, I will. $27, right, Rishi? Why IRR is given. So here, I hope if you remember, why IRR is given, internal rate of return, right? So I will just read the question. Total fixed cost of a chemical plant is 10 lakh, right? Fixed cost of a chemical plant is 10 lakh, and they have given what? Internal rate of return is given 15%. Internal rate of return is given 15%, and they have given what? Operating cost is 2 lakh. And what they are asking is total annualized cost. So what is the equation for total annualized cost? Operating cost plus annual fixed charges. Clear? Operating cost plus annual fixed charges. Normally, how can you find annual fixed charges? They will give you some percentage of total fixed cost. That is, if your total fixed capital investment is 50 lakh, right? So they will give some percentage in the question, so that we will multiply with that percentage and you will get what? Annual fixed charges. We will add this, you will get the answer, right? So this is the, I had doubt in the question from, okay, please have the WhatsApp contact. So my contact number is this 8380-971-235. Right, 8380-971-235. You can contact in this. Now, for those who are asking this question, you can see here. Now, we don't have a percentage given the question. Only percentage given to us is IRR. Now, what is the meaning of IRR? Right? What is the meaning of IRR logically is you have invested some total capital investment now, and for N years, you are having some cash flow. Right? For N years, you are having some cash flow. Now, actually what we are doing, right? When you calculate the NPV, what is the meaning of NPV? NPV is equal to, we are saying, whatever discounted cash flow, salvage value, right? Working capital investment minus TCI. Now, IRR is the value of I at which the NPV becomes 0, right? IRR is the value of I at which your NPV becomes 0. What is the meaning of NPV 0? We are able to completely recover the TCI. Is it fine? That is, we are able to recover completely TCI. So actually what we are doing, right? We are able to divide this total TCI by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. according to that. That is, we are able to recover the TCI in that particular n years. Clear? So logically, what are we doing? We are dividing the TCI over n years, right? So we are dividing the TCI over n years at a percentage of IRR. Clear? So if you multiply this 10 lakh with IRR, you will get what? Annual fixed charges, right? So that's what the logic is, right? That's what the logic is. That is, if you multiply 10 lakh into this, you will get what? 1.5 lakh. So that is, you will be able to divide this 10 lakh fixed capital investment as every year annual fixed charges, right? So this is the logic behind that question, right? So, but normally we don't use IRR. That's why in the latest question, right? In the latest question of GATE, they have always given some other percentage. That is, they will say annual fixed charges is equal to some percentage of total fixed charges. So they will not give IRR nowadays. Clear? So logically, this is the meaning. I hope now that question is clear. Yes. So that's all, right? So tomorrow we'll see, right? So whatever questions, doubts, you can send it in that particular number. Thank you. So tomorrow we'll start control system in revision. So if possible, right, just go through the control system, etc. Right? So that will be easy for you, right? Thank you.